Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing? Look who's back.
I'm here, in
She's-
flesh and blood.
She's been not feeling well
No.
for a little while. Now she's got me not feeling well. So she's back though, 100%, right?
No, I wish it was so.
Hello, Deb. Hello, David. Hello, Anna. I missed a few people there. Sorry about that at the beginning. And from South Jersey, I saw Allie, I think, as well. How's everyone doing? Hello, Veronica. Good evening. Dana, how are you, sir? So, feeling better?
If you say so. Better than what I was. Let's put it that way. I'm functioning. How's
That's normal.
that?
Good evening, John. How are you? Thank you. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Nikki, how are you? So, yeah, lots going on. Lots to talk about. Hello, Cheryl. Susan, how are you? Creeper Gallery last night. Very cool. Like I said, I woke up not feeling well because somebody got me sick. Or I'm not really sick. I'm just not feeling well. Nothing like bad. Hello, Kathy. But that was pretty cool. Maggie was one of the items that we did. Those items that were there were from the Ghost of Christmas Past. I explained that. We did 3 objects with the first group, 3 objects with the second group. And Maggie was the one that stood out of all of them because it was the Jack in the Box and it was creepy. And we had the most activity that night, I think.
Matter of fact, the night that you and I had gone, that was one of the pieces
Hello,
that I
Carrie.
picked out
Kathy.
to do, but we didn't get to it that
Yep.
night. So it was probably a good thing. It turned out really good, I think, you working with Maggie like it was. That was really active.
Yeah. So that was one of the ones. And again, if you were there that night, most of you guys weren't. Tragic stories all the way around. Maggie's story in particular, hey Lewis, was that she was one of 35 people that died in a fire. But all of those objects, really, the Humpty Dumpty, and then there was one that I didn't get to that was also a tragedy with a family getting killed by a train on the train tracks. You remember that one? That was from the same night.
Whoa.
This is what I mean.
I
think
to put
50,
that
once you get 55, 50, I think your mind kind of goes a little bit wonky on you. Maybe, what is that? Gikabalova, what do they call that? Like memory drug? I think we need to start looking into that stuff for you because you're getting a little
Loopy? I wonder
I would
why.
say loopy. You're just not as sharp. How's that? Is that
No, that's insulting.
not as sharp? I mean, you're intelligent. You're just your memory and your
Oh, I have.
ability to recall isn't what it used to be.
No, I have been so off the rails when it comes to that. Absolutely. Which was the item that had to do with the train?
That was the
Why
one.
can't I remember?
It looked like a Peter Pan doll, except he wore red.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
I had them out there last night.
Okay.
But thank you, Chris. But Maggie, I probably should have stayed for a second, but like I remember the Jack in the Box. It was kind of creepy to me the way it looked. I don't know if you got a good look at it on the live stream. Really hard to do that. I was explaining to Chris before that the way I had to do that whole thing was I had to stand with my tablet on an angle for TikTok, and then I had this stand here behind it so that it could catch kind of the whole
You did a
room,
great job.
SOS and all that stuff.
You really did a really good job.
It was hard.
And even at the end there, after you did the box, you literally, you brought it up where everybody could actually see it. So again,
but I wasn't even sure if they could see it then. I was
yeah, you did a good. Well, on my end, I didn't see the TikTok one. I was moderating the Facebook one from here, but
hey Travis.
I think the big frustration for people that night was that while you were doing what you were doing, you couldn't see the SLS. So you couldn't see that there were two figures that were there reacting with Maggie and then one. And that figure stayed there all the way up until the very end when you finished with Maggie.
I got messages last night and people actually sent me video clips of the hey Lisa, of the SLS part of it. And no, I was flying blind. I just knew what was happening in the room and in front of me. I had no idea what the comments were. I had no idea. And I thought I could see the SLS, but I guess I couldn't. My vision isn't what it's hard used too. To be.
I mean, you had a lot of stuff going on dealing with it's hard, and that's why you had moderators and stuff. But again, from my visual point, you did a great job of the setup. And again, a lot of people don't see the dynamics of what it takes to create something like that. You and I do know and what it takes to put it together. But when you don't have somebody there who's also manning the visuals for you and it's kind of hard because you're just blind doing what you do. You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes and what people are saying. So I thought you did an excellent job.
I didn't see the SLS figures and I wish I did. Even Donna texted, what is your shirt? It's a Jersey Devil. Even Donna texted me. She was like, people were commenting about the figures the whole time and you couldn't see them. Would it have made a difference if I could? Maybe, sort of. But I knew from what was going on that there was somebody there.
But you were interacting. You were focused on. Me. You were again. So, you never missed a step.
No.
Communicating with Maggie.
So Maggie, again, she was present, and I love when they're present and they're and they're so present that they're easy to communicate with. And the more you do this, the more you see. There are certain objects that the initial interaction is pretty good. You can kind of communicate with them. You can work with them. You can talk to them. You can engage with them. And then there's others where it's whoop. And that may not be because there's nothing connected to it. It may be because there are different types of people. We talk about this all the time. You could walk into any given room with a bunch of strangers and maybe have a conversation with one or two people and connect with them. And maybe one you'll talk to out of the 10 for a while. Maybe the others not. Maybe all of them you will. That's the randomness.
Or the personality of like for me, when people come into our area and stuff, I have the need to make people feel welcome and not out of place. And other people are very more withdrawn and want to be wallflowers in the background. Other people are observers. Other people engage. So I think with the spirit, sometimes the more you get to talk to them and the more they get to know you, the more comfortable they get too. I think
I'm trying to stay out of hand range. There's been a lot of this close pointing.
That's just the way it
I
is.
feel like I'm with an
Besides
NFL
the hand,
referee.
mister.
There's a lot of
That's you.
going on here.
But anyways, it's just the idea of the different. My hands are right here. They're in front of me. They're nowhere near you. But I do believe that it has to do with, again, like you said, energies, certain energies mixed with energies. But it's also sometimes there are some that'll hold themselves back before they're willing. I think Oscar, the lunchbox from the miner, is a perfect example of that. The very first time we investigated it, we got nothing. It was very quiet. It was very subtle. But we went back probably about a month later and we sat down and had an investigation. And do you remember? It was off the charts. It was amazing. It was just like, it was almost like he was getting to know us, watching us, and then, okay, I'm ready to interact with you. I've sized you up and I'm comfortable.
Yeah, that was sort of the point I was making there, was that whether you go into a building, whether you're investigating objects, the main thing in common that all of these things have is people look at the term spirit, and spirit is such a gray word in that, you know, means different things to different people. But people, that word is kind of standard generic to everyone. These spirits were people. In most cases, the ones that we're dealing with in buildings and in objects, these are just different people that we're talking to. Yeah. Young, older, from different parts of the world, different parts of the country, different personalities, different upbringings, different religious beliefs. We are just trying to do our best within a window that big of making a connection and seeing if there'll be any kind of, whether it's we're in a building for 4 hours, 8 hours, 40 minutes, it's all the same. It's about what is the reaction between us and those people, because they are people. When we're walking into a building, we're announcing ourselves. We're here. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is who we are. Are you willing to now come and communicate and interact with us? That's the same no matter what we do. And that's the way, when I do it, it's always a conversation, even though, yes, there is a lot of, can you like this? Can you like that? Can you touch that again? That's only to see if there's any kind of intelligence and back and forth, because the face-to-face communication isn't there. So, but it really is just a conversation. That's what we're doing when we're sitting there. We're like, hi, here's the information. You're Mary Smith from Alabama. You live to this. Hi, I'm John.
You're good at that.
This is Chris. Let's
You're
talk
very,
if we can.
Very good at that. You have a very complete, where
I'm good with that with spirits. People.
And it's kind of
the opposite.
Because I have a hard time talking with someone who I can't see. Because I do rely on, I read people. That's how I get to know people. I watch for different aspects of people. So when that's absent in a spirit communication, it's a little bit more difficult, because I have to put aside how I do things and how I communicate with people, and I have to change it up completely. And I've gotten better about it, but I'm definitely not as comfortable or in the realm like you are. There's an assuredness and a comfort level with you when you do it. And it's very appealing to watch, and it's very mesmerizing to watch that. I'm just telling you how I feel when I watch it.
It is funny how it works in the physical real world as opposed to it does in the spirit world. I'm introvert. I've been an introvert my whole life.
A lot of people wouldn't know that about
you put me in a room full of people that I don't know. I mean, you guys, I've seen you at events. I've seen a lot of faces. So I'm comfortable, not completely comfortable, but I'm comfortable with the people that, like Kathy and others, and Tracy and all these people that I've seen, Deb, and through the years, they're friends now, and I know them and I can talk to them. But you put me in a room full of complete strangers that I don't know. It is the most uncomfortable feeling in the world for me. And I just not comfortable in my own skin, to where I will try to talk to different people about different things, but not easy. But you put me in a building with spirits everywhere by myself. Oh, shoot, I won't shut up.
Well, I'm unnerved. I'm opposite. I'm unnerved by what I can't see and what's not tangible. I can deal with people head on. And John will tell you, it was perfect stranger will walk up to me in the store and just start
it happens all the time.
And I'm open to it. And because I will listen. I'm just, but it's hard for me to sit down and start. And maybe there's two sides of this for me. One, the fact that I can't see the reactions and I read people that way. I get how I proceed with a person by how I interpret them in front of me physically. A spirit you can't do that with. I have to rely on I'm not a psychic medium. I don't have the ability to see them or hear them. So it's kind of like that, like you said, using the different things to try to see if they're intelligent and they communicate. But that's an uncomfortability for me. There's something lacking in the way that I communicate. You've taken away my skill set on the communication like I do with humans to human. Now I'm communicating and it's different because I can't read the expressions. I can't see. And and this is God's truth. And I've grown up with this statement and there's truth in it. The eyes are the key to the soul. The eyes will tell you everything if you want to know what about a person, even if they're a deceptive person. If you sit with them, you talk with them, it doesn't matter what they say. It's what their eyes say to you. And they're very revealing if you really get comfortable with being able to read that. Can't do that with a spirit. You got to trust where the spirit's leading you and what it's saying. And that's a little bit intimidating and scary for me because there's like, are you dealing with something different than what it's perceiving? There's a trust and a safety issue for me. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, again, for me, it's like if there's commonality, like if we're paranormal stuff, I'll talk all day to everyone all the time. Football, I love football. Other things that we have in common, sense of humor, Howard Stern for the older guys. I'll sit and talk all the time about that stuff. But I think with the spirits too, it's like being on the phone for me. I can control how long the interaction is. And if it gets, nothing happens and it gets boring and mundane, I can just say, well, that's it for that one. Let's try talking to another one. I mean, it's like with people, there are some people that Chris will talk until 2-3 hours sometimes. And I'm like, oh, how do you do that? How do you do that?
Because you have to not only be a talker, you have to be a listener.
Ugh, who needs that?
I do.
Anyway.
I think it's important. I think people need to be heard. I am a product of how I was raised and things that have happened in life. I have always felt not heard, not listened to, even in very important times where I was screaming at the top of my lungs. So I have made it a thing that I will listen. If it's only a matter of giving you some time and you need to talk and nobody's listening to you or you're not being sane, I will give that to you. And it doesn't matter who you are.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Exactly. I believe in that.
Chris is one of those talkers too, man. Woo. She can
if
talk.
It's important.
She can talk.
If it's important, if it's an important subject to me, I can. If I have nothing to say.
Be honest while they're watching.
No.
Out of our conversations, what percentage would you say you talk and I talk of any general conversation? Well, let's say most conversations, just general conversations throughout
between
the day.
Us?
Yeah.
Oh, you're too busy doing your stuff, and I'll.
No, I'm just talking.
I will talk to him, but maybe 2% reaches the.
Yeah, no, I get it all. I just don't talk as much as you do. You talk a lot more than I do because you've got a lot more to say. Me, I'm more of a thoughts man.
Oh, he is so full of baloney Maloney. Full of baloney Maloney. That's all I got to say. He talks a lot. He just doesn't think he does.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to the Creeper Gallery. So Maggie was very, very active, and Maggie was definitely one of those objects that I like going back to and talking to again and seeing, what happens to wherever it goes from the Creeper Gallery, because you're right.
Yeah.
One of the good objects that's fun to work with. So then I saved the last object, the second object, because I see the word, my vision hones in on poltergeist activity. And I'm like, man, I know we worked with that one at the Ghost of Christmas Past at the Creeper Gallery, but I'm thinking maybe by myself, nobody else in the building, if I'm with this object, maybe I can get some of these things to happen. And while there wasn't as much one-on-one interaction, when I did, and I won't lie about this, when I held that Humpty Dumpty,
it changed.
The cold went up my arms, on my shoulders, and around my neck. I felt just literally just on me. And I started to get some back and forth. And I really do think that given time, over and over, like for a while, hours and hours, that maybe there's something more there. That may be one of the ones like we're talking about, that older woman, Harriet. I think there were more than one there for sure. I think there was a man there too, may have been her husband or whoever. But I think more and more she was building her energy. She was trying to take some of mine. And I really do think that she was kind of building. It was like a boil. I didn't get the whole thing, but I think over time, maybe there was more there, Don't talk about that one. I haven't finished. Oh, well, sorry. I'm not going to tell you about the things flying off the shelf and me levitating. You need to see that for yourself. Hello, Lauren. How are you? So we've got a lot going on with other things that we're doing. The New Jersey Paranormal stuff, the Para-Unity stuff. I don't know if you guys saw that I posted about that today. Para-Unity is really, the Maggie SLS again. I haven't even gotten back and watched it. I watched brief clips of it. Somebody sent me just a quick snippet of the person standing there the whole entire time.
And not one figure with Humpty Dumpty.
No.
Not one.
And I love it when that happens. When you get multiple levels, that's what we always preach, multiple levels of validation and interaction. When you get the figure and you get the bell ringing and you get the voices, and that's like the best you could ever hope for, short of them showing themselves in a full body apparition in front of you. You can't beat that.
What about the sounding of the dragging, like something being moved in the room? That was
with the Humpty Dumpty.
That was pretty loud.
Yeah. I don't want to ruin that for Kathy, though. You're taking away that from Kathy. I want to scream at you. Yeah, and again, I love the bell, and I have 2 bells now, and I may be getting another bell, down the road. But, we always preach about relatability. How do you relate to anybody who is from a different time than you? But here's the thing, we don't know how time works in the hereafter. We don't know if they're, people say they're visited by spirits or their loved ones or whatever. We don't know if are they looking in? Do they see the changing of time? Are they aware of the passage and modern technology and things, or are they just kind of stuck in, like, if God forbid, knock on wood, I pass right now, would I be familiar with something 20 years from now when people are ghost hunting and they're using holograms and all these different weird pieces of equipment? I don't know. Maybe I can look in and see what my family's doing and see these things. Maybe not. But the bell is a really good one because it's so general. Everybody from this big to 100 years old knows what a ding ding,
hotel store, what a bell stays, to hotels, to walking into stores.
Very, very easy, and very, again, something that no matter who they are, they're going to recognize the bell. Good thing, as well, to bring up the Van Horn house. We never talked about that too. We went from live to live. The Van Horn house, I was so hoping. Now, do I think somebody was by that door?
Oh, yeah.
The whole entire time?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Why, again, that woman, if we were interacting with the same person, hypothetically, when we were there, why she wouldn't show ourselves to us?
Again, maybe it had to do with the individual that she showed herself to.
Yeah, but she was there for a meeting, okay? Hypothetically, again, I don't know the whole entire situation. She walked in that door thinking that there was a meeting there, right, on that day. So I don't know what exact day that was. Maybe we weren't there the same day. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
But if she was curious enough to walk in that door on that day for that reason, maybe it was the anniversary of something. Maybe, who knows? Again, we did our best to try to bring her out and see if she would show herself, because there's nothing more I wanted than to see her. But we did engage with somebody, and the one of the best experiments we did that whole entire night was having Kenny go down, go into the basement and open that door and recreate
that was perfect.
The circumstances around her showing herself. Yes, she didn't appear, but every single thing in that area was going off.
Only time the whole entire night that John put out the trip wires, the EMF lights that they ever
and
went
the
off.
pods, all the red pods went.
Yeah, but that was the only time those went off. Those lights never reacted to anything except when Kenny recreated what we were told in the story, and he did it and played it out, and it went whoop. Those lights went. It was crazy.
So for the people who did get tickets to the Van Horn event, that guy is going to be there that night. The guy who saw the full body apparition, he'll be there. So again, using him as a trigger object and having him tell the story to
it's gonna be interesting.
Whoever's there, we'll be hearing it for the first time as well. So that'll be kind of a fun thing. But that building has levels as well. There's something in the basement for sure. Who? Don't know. Native American? Not sure. But there's definitely something in the basement, and we didn't get as much interaction upstairs as I got when I was there. I got tons of stuff in that one hallway in that sewing machine room when I was there. And we do like remote investigating there too, which is, we'll have equipment in an area we're able to see it, and things were happening from the last event. But that building, again, that took me by surprise when they saw, hey Kevin, when they saw the full body apparition. That's why I wanted to get back in there right after, because it was so recent that I thought maybe she would still be there, but maybe we could find out what night that meeting was and try again.
Yeah, I wish we had more.
But maybe it was a specific really cool date and a specific night and time that got her there. Like whatever that, let's say it was Tuesday, like December 27. Right? You know, why that date? You know what I mean? That's really weird. But one of the many things. But the Van Horn was pretty cool. We're actually we're going to be doing a couple of more lives. Clark, the municipal building, the lady just emailed me this morning, but I was so busy and not feeling well. She wants us to come back in before the basketball tournament start up and all that again. Which is cool
because I was away.
That'll be during the week. We have to do that during the week.
Yeah, I've never done that before.
So we'll do that during the week. We're thinking of going to the mine and actually filming. Again, can't live stream because there's no Wi-Fi in the mine.
Yeah.
But we're going to do like these guys do on YouTube and all that. We'll film the whole entire investigation from inside the mine because we've never done that. And then we'll show it here to you guys on YouTube and Facebook and all that. And we'll do some commentary.
Verbally, from what we understand, Lauren.
What?
Did he get the number written down or did she tell him verbally?
No verbal. But again, he'll be there. We could ask all these questions of him if you're part of that event. And maybe we'll film it as well so that we can show it to everybody else so you guys can see it afterwards, what that little bit of an interview with him was, that one part of it. No baseball to interfere this time of year. No baseball at all. So that was, again, we're working on a few more live investigations. We're going to go to the mine and film inside the mine. Again, we can't live stream it because there's no way to do that. But we do want to get back in there and just go through the mine with equipment, with new equipment, stuff that we didn't have years ago when we were in there doing it before, and get into a few more places as well to do some live streams, interviews as well. John's a juggler.
He is.
John was working all day long on a million different things. I actually have Cody Satori are going to be coming back on. I just literally was texting Cody back and forth. They're going to be coming back on soon. Trying to get John Zaffis to come on again because we're going to, speaking of John Zaffis, tickets are available for the Camp Evans event, March 9th. Again, limited tickets. They're selling. Probably more than half have gone already. But John will be there again. He loves that place. That's the one place he wants to go. Meet and greet. John's a great lecturer. Check out his lecture. And then he ghost hunts with us. So you'll be able to actually be in a session with him and ghost hunt and watch him use his Echo Box and do the things he does. So if you don't have your tickets and you're interested in coming, March 9th, you have to email NewJerseyParanormal@yahoo.com. You have to spell out New Jersey Paranormal@yahoo.com, March 9th from 6 p.m. till 11 p.m. And always have fun with John. John's an amazing guy to talk to.
He loves that place. It's one of his Camp Evans is one of his favorite places.
So that's, again, I'm hoping to have John on. And now I'm talking to two other people. One is about near-death experiences. This person had two, believe it or not. I'm working on a date and a time to have her on. And the other would be about spirit guides. How do you recognize them? How do you contact your spirit guides, guardian angels? We'll be talking about that stuff as well. But these are two different people. So I'm going to hopefully set both of those up for January. I'm hoping. But lots going on. Live investigations, interviews. We're going to kind of get back to doing that stuff. You sneaked on. But lots coming up. So keep an eye out because, like I said, we're going to be doing some stuff that for you guys. You know, we'll be coming on and doing this stuff as well and recapping and talking about other paranormal things and subjects, you know. And eventually Chris will talk again, believe it or not. And she may have used it all up in the beginning there with her.
Hey, I didn't want to ruin your flow or interrupt.
Oh, since when has that been a problem?
Like I said, when I got something to say, I'll say it. I think everybody knows that about me now. I mean, other than the facts, should you even be, what's a break? Getting sick was my break. But you've been, and again, let's put it out there. You've been working really hard on, we're now jumping back into the phrase of the expo planning for November.
That was, if you don't know what a segue is, that was Chris's version of a segue to get me to talk more.
No.
Did a show of your pop figure. What?
Oh, thank you, Donna. Thank you. So we all know that John has Paranormal Savior action figure. He's got his little pop figure. He's got.
Did I show my pop figure?
You did. But what nobody knows is, look at this. I got to get it out of the light so y'all can see it.
Yeah, there's a big glare.
Yeah, there's a glare, but see that? Look at that. She's got a braid down her side there, and she's got a lantern, and she's got her phone. I love this. Right there?
Yeah.
How cool is that? All thanks to Donna Schultz. This was pretty cool. Donna didn't want me to feel left out. And isn't that cool? One of one. My own little pop.
It was just a matter of time before people would rip off
and yes,
the things they do for
John
me.
has his too, but hey, this is the cool one right here.
Just a matter of time before these wannabes would be getting their own and imitating
I know it.
What the Paranormal Savior has got.
Me, myself,
you know, about a matter of time before she has t-shirts made up and copies everything that I get. We know how that
copy
works.
everything.
This is the way it works out in the paranormal.
Oh,
anyway.
Lord help me. See if there's even just a smidgen of something that slides in there.
I'm just saying, after you begged for it for a year and a half, it was bound to happen. Somebody was going to take pity on you. You know? Thank you. by the way, Donna, because she's been begging for it for
Oh my
2 years
God.
now. Ever since she got jelly over my T-shirts and my hats and
please.
Thank you for doing that.
I am. I'm just like, I'll put them up for sale. I'm keeping this baby. I love it. Listen, I was honored. And if anybody that's friends with me on Facebook knows that little picture that's up in my little corner, what do you call those, profile pictures? That's actually a drawing that she's on here right now that Luann did. And I love it because I wore overalls and had my phone in my pocket, my braid down my back, and she did an absolutely gorgeous. I love it, and that's why it's up on my profile. And I was honored. It's been there for like a year now, I believe, Luann. But it was she sketched it out and sent me a picture of it, and I thought that was pretty cool. Anyone that thinks that to do something like that, that's an honor. And when Donna gave me this little pop thing, I absolutely fell in love with it and thought it was a very thoughtful, sweet gift. So I appreciate that very much, even if you are jelly.
I would have to be. I've got a whole collection of stuff in there. Again, you begged for it. I'd have to beg for any of mine. It just people gave it to me.
No, I'm quite content with just being Chris. no added name. No, I'm Chris. It's good.
Oh, there's added names. Trust me. Just,
you add them on.
Anyway, so we
right back at you, Donna.
When I say we, I mean me. Just replace we with me whenever I say we, and I just say we to be courteous to the rest of the rest of them. But whenever I say it's we, it's me. So just do that in your mind.
He says a lot of I too. So
we have been working on the expo a lot, and if it's something you guys are interested, if you've come to the expo before, it's a big paranormal convention. This is our 10th, believe it or not, 10th anniversary. It's crazy to think that we've done 9 of these and this is going to be 10. But I'm sorry. We are going into this one, as being the biggest and best that we've ever had, because it is 10, and it deserves to be the biggest of them all that we've had. The lineup is coming together really nicely. And by the time this whole thing is finished, it's going to be really, really something. And I can't really, we're going to announce some tomorrow. We'll post on the Para Unity page on here, just some of the first couple that we've signed and gave deposits to. It's not nowhere near the whole entire lineup. There are still several people that we're waiting to get the contract signed and get everything together. But when you see the finality, the whole final lineup on a poster, you guys are going to be happy. Of course, Ghost Adventures never. They don't do conventions. People ask that all the time. They don't do them. I've reached out to those guys every way you could imagine, and they just don't do them. So would I like to Ghost Adventures there? Yes, but whatever. But we're reaching out to a lot of different people. Some have been with us for years. Others were with us before and are coming back. But when you see it, forget it. Just if you can, make plans to be in New Jersey November 2nd and 3rd.
And
it's going to be crazy.
We've been getting messages and stuff, and it's exciting to see that people are as excited about this as we are. We are now in the process of setting things up because people want to know when the hotels are ready and what the prices and stuff. So we're in the process of putting all of that together. It's all moving parts. So that's the cool part. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get it all together. Cause like I said, there's a lot of things you got to set up your ducks in a row before, can't put the horse before the cart or the cart before the horse. How's that go? The cart before the horse.
Oh boy. Yes. You cannot put the horse before the cart, because the cart will go nowhere. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, But yeah, that's what we're working on.
He'll be
It's
sitting
really
in the back of that cart.
The expo, and again, we'll get into some other stuff in a minute. But the expo itself, hey Bill, um, here's an idea of what the expo is. Whatever you see in that building that weekend took most of a year to put together all of it. You know, when that year's over and the expo is done, picture building a house and then the wrecking ball coming, like they demolish these sites now really quick. They separate them into piles, and then that's what the expo is when it's done. Nothing, zero.
Start at ground zero all over again.
You really do start from
charred ground,
scratch all over again, and at step one being the most menial step to the final step with, you know, the after meetings with the mayor and the township. There's a million steps in between all of that. And we're just now really getting into the mud and the dirt of what the expo is and how to put it together again. And this one, I always set the bar a little higher, a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. The best expression I ever heard, I can't remember who said it, but they said, if you ever going to set a ceiling for yourself, make it a glass ceiling so that you could bust through it and set another level for the ceiling. And I thought that was really, really cool. I think Steven Tyler may have said that from Aerosmith. And I thought, wow, that's really how I do things. I'm sorry, we.
No, this is I will be the very first one to give John all the credit in the world that he deserves. This guy works really hard. The expo is his dream, his imagination, his whole thing of visionary. Me, myself, and I can organize the crap out of stuff. If you ask me that this needs to get done, I'm the person to do it. This is what makes John and I so good, where he can think out of the box and is a visionary. I can help him. So this is where when he says I'm fine with that, because I know you are. But John
it's
and I
at least 20% you. What? That's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Smart ass. So. But the kicker is that John and I have this ability where we mesh together really well, and this is what makes the expo what it is because we both come from different sides of the coin, and I think that's the best way to make things unique and different. I always tell John, because John is pretty phenomenal in his vision and his instincts with things. He tends to be able to see things 10 steps down ahead, where I can barely just keep my foot in front of me, and what's right in front of me is what I deal with. He's amazing. And that's what I love working with John, is because where he's so far ahead, I can be behind putting everything. So when he turns back and he says, okay, I got to do all of it's already waiting for him. And like I said, I couldn't have picked a better partner to do this with. I admire John. I respect John. John is probably the hardest working person I have ever met when it comes to his vision and his passion. And he leaves it all when he walks away. And I can admire and respect that. Even if we weren't partners, I'd still feel the same way.
I am the horse in front of the cart.
You're the horse behind the cart.
Thank you.
I'm in the cart.
But no, Lauren, you said last year was the best one yet. The 10th will be the best one yet, for sure. I mean, it'll be everything it was this year and more of that, because we are still keeping it 2 days so that everyone has a chance to meet everybody like they did this past year. Only there'll be way more people to meet and more stuff going on in that building over the weekend. So last year plus, I mean, and that's the idea of number 10. Number 10 is to go at it like, you know, there aren't going to be any more after that, but we don't know that. And I'm not saying that because the mayor was just reelected again for another 3 years. So he's going to let us do this as long as he's there. So, but we look at it as, let's put it all into this one. This is the last one. Let's kill it. You know,
no, the expo's in November.
Who said that? Oh, England? Yeah, that has nothing to do
Yeah,
with us.
it's November 1st. No, 2nd and 3rd are the dates for Saturday and Sunday.
2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, the 2nd and 3rd. Yes, there will be 2 VIP parties. So
Day of the Dead. That's when we start, November
Yeah.
2nd, which is going to be awesome. That's the whole theme behind this expo.
There'll be a VIP party on Friday night and a VIP party on Saturday night.
But yeah, you know, again, as far as like the paranormal stuff and what we're doing, you know, the idea for now until we really get back into the event, you know, where we start going every couple of weeks, which is coming in February, really, and then we go. But the idea for now is, again, I love doing the interviews, bringing on these two people. I am fascinated by near-death experiences and people who've had them. I've spoken to a few, and there are similarities between a lot of what they say they've been through. It's similar to, again, mediums. There's a common theme with mediums that I know of. That trauma. The real mediums that I know of, trauma. They've all had trauma in their life.
Major trauma.
Yeah, men, male, female, whatever, trauma. Something has happened to, I don't know.
Hit that switch.
Yeah, that has opened up that third eye, or flick that switch for them. With near death, the common theme is, and again, we'll talk about this with this person, life review. And I don't know what that entails, and that's why I really want to talk to this person about this, because it happened to her twice. I think once when she was younger, and then another time when she was older, which is bizarre, you know. But we're going to get into that whole thing. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but of course, I think talking to people about this and interviewing them and getting you guys to ask questions and us to ask questions, I think it, and at least, like I said, the whole idea of the paranormal is to open your mind to the what if of beyond the physical life, of course. And the more things you expose yourself to as far as ideas and theories, could change your perspective. And it has with mine, not a bunch of times, but a few times where I've had conversations with people, Grant Wilson being one of them. Like I said, I'll never forget that 2-hour conversation I had with Grant, because it was like I was in a college course that was crammed into 2 hours about the afterlife. And I came out of there, just like we met Grant in Salem, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him. Then he came to the expo many moons ago. And she'll tell you, I got to sit with Grant off to the side on a, he was sitting down on a ledge or something, and I was standing there talking to him. I had a beer in my hand, he had a beer in his hand, and we talked for an hour or more. And I literally walked away from that conversation. She'll tell you, the expo was great that year. And I said to her,
sitting and talking.
My highlight was talking to Grant, because it was an hour. The guy's like Yoda. He was just like schooling me on so many different theories and different ideas. And I just nodded and nodded. And again, there was some stuff I took in and I said, wow. And there was stuff I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that, but there was so much of it. And everything I brought up, to his credit, and it was like this on our conversation.
He was open.
Everything I brought up to him, he said, John, good question. A lot of people would ask that question, and here's my defense of that. And he would have his version of an answer for why that was true.
Yeah.
And man, it was like, I wish he would come on, but he won't. He's not like that.
No.
But man, oh man, I mean, it was just, again, maybe all of it was true, maybe none of it was true, but changing perspective and getting new ideas and theories and outlooks, and it's not going to hurt you ever unless it's somebody leading you to like Satanism and shit and stuff that's going to hurt
off
people.
the beaten path, that is
but
ridiculous.
just Buddhism, all that stuff. I don't think there's anything wrong with any
No.
of taking a look at any of that
I
stuff.
think there's many roads to get to one destination. There are many paths. There are different that can lead you all to the same thing. And what one calls one thing and does, it goes back over to, you know. But I wanted to answer a question back there. Somebody asked about how do you get VIP ticket parties for the. I'll get it out in a minute, guys. Sorry. How do you get VIP party admission? Because it's not tickets, it's admission. We put up where you apply for it. You'll find it on the website when John makes the announcement that we have the link, and I have to personally send you the payment link. So that's so that we limit the party to a certain number of people. So that's just so you know.
Yeah, the expo stuff, that's for another time.
Yeah.
We're laying the foundation. Those none of that stuff will be on sale for a while. That's
we got to lay it all
we're
out.
weeks away from that for sure. But when it happens, we'll announce it here first so you guys get the heads up. But you know, back to the other stuff with Grant and all that. I have nothing against sitting with anybody. I am the last person on earth who would say they believe in anybody calling upon the Archangel Michael. And believe me, and I'm not saying that they don't do it. I'm not saying that it's real. I'm saying for me personally, my perspective, for a living human being to call upon an angel, one of the higher angel, if there is such a thing.
There's a lot of people that call on
come on,
the Archangel Michael. I don't. Come on. Listen, I can't. Come on.
I call upon the Easter Bunny and Santa.
I'm just saying I've never experienced that. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it's possible.
But again, my perspective. That's why when I listen to people, I apply it to my own filter with an open mind.
Yeah.
And if it fits, it goes in. I think about it. I try to learn more about it. But if it really doesn't, Judge Judy, I used to love watching Judge Judy. And Judge Judy used to always say, if it doesn't make sense, then it probably isn't true. You know, and that's my filter. I run it through my own filter, my own experiences, my own beliefs. And I go, you know, that one doesn't work for me. It really doesn't. So, but I never call anybody a liar. And I never say these people don't somehow do that because it just hasn't happened to me. But
right.
Sounds real. First of all, I don't believe in angels. And
I do.
B, I don't believe that the Archangel Michael is really
that's
going to all of these people that are calling to them for help. And he's okay. It reminds me of, again, remember Bruce Almighty when he was God and everybody was praying to him and he was. That's what it reminds me of. Like, you know, but there are billions of souls, hundreds of billions of souls on this planet.
I get that.
Human souls.
Yeah.
I do believe animals have souls as well. Dogs do. Anyway, I love dogs. But you're going to tell me the archangels are listening to Bob Smith and who? Come on.
Well, here's the aspect of that too. When you say something like that, you take in the perspective of God. There's one God, whoever you want to address him as. And he has, suppose we're all his children. So
I'm not even saying it's him. You said him.
I'm just saying God. I'm just identifying. I'm just saying, okay? I'm not doing the whole what if and who and what and why. Just that there's a God. And that we all pray, you know, if you're a praying person and you pray to God, Buddha, whatever, and, you know, there's all different forms of it. So why can't the Archangel Michael be all encompassing to those that can call upon him? I mean, according to people we've talked to, they say anybody can do it. I just don't know how you do that. Where do you learn that from?
Well, that's right. When we interview this person, I can't say her name, but she is about spirit guides and guardian angels. Guardian angels, I can get behind 100%.
Well, you said you don't believe in angels.
Guardian angels to me aren't angels. Like
guardian angels, are you talking about angels?
Angels are something that are not. They were never humans. They were never humans.
Yes.
According to religious people, Guardian angels, to me, my interpretation, I'm not a religious person. My interpretation of guardian angels, they were once humans. That's what I believe a guardian angel is. Like It's a Wonderful Life, Clarence.
Gotcha.
I think, again, if I have a guardian angel, it's my mom. And she looks after me and my family and whatever. Again, that makes sense here.
Right.
But I do not know all the secrets of the universe and energy and
again,
religion and how everything works.
We come from it from different angles. I do believe in angels. I do believe in the dark forces of below. I'm not going to say demon, devil, whatever, because that tends to set people off in this field. But there is something that is non-human, that's of a dark element, that I do believe in. But I do believe in angels. Do I believe in the Hollywood version of it? No, that is not my experience on either end of what it is for me. But I do believe in it. And I do believe that they're not of the human form and that they're something other than what we can comprehend.
Well, again, and a lot of people believe that too.
And that's from my experience.
Right. And again, I never speak for everyone. I speak for me. And when I've heard so many people calling upon the Archangel Michael, and I'm like,
I don't know how that's done. I believe in
You're
angels, and I do believe in that type of thing, but I don't know how or why that's possible. Why would an angel come and do your bidding to help you? I just, that's something that in my brain, in my logical brain, I'm just trying to.
Well, yeah, I don't want to get into religion. I'm just saying but I am open to the conversation. I will say that.
Should be.
And
don't know how it works.
When this person comes on, we'll go over this again, and we'll talk about because even I'll be honest with you, we've done this before, and we'll probably do it again because people get frustrated with me. I know that lots of people believe in crystals. I know tons of them, lots of them. I know lots of them do. I think it's the biggest horse crap thing that there is out there. Me, personally, I'm just telling you, there's no difference between a quartz crystal and my glasses. If I believe my glasses can bring in positive energy and protection and blah, 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 guess what? My glasses are going to do that.
So why do you wear that?
Because I'm superstitious. There's a difference.
But if you don't believe in the power of them,
I'm superstitious.
Where would the superstition?
You see how my superstitious?
I know you are,
like
but you OCD. Are a contradiction in some way.
No, not true at all. I'm superstitious. I'm afraid of going against things that I think have worked for me. That could be my shoelaces.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
For
because I've gotten you things and you've gotten.
No,
yeah, there you go, Luann.
You said you didn't believe in Michael. That's me. I don't.
But what I was pointing to,
not believe in crystals, and we'll do that again.
He has tiger eye, and he has trembling, for protection.
Do I know what any of these are? The names of them?
I do, but again, he doesn't believe, but
and I don't carry holy water and squirt people around when I'm doing investigations either. But there's some kooks out there that are doing that too.
But he wears it, but he says he wears it because of superstition. So, do you think that it wards off? Or your
I am superstitious, and now I'm to the point where I'm afraid not to wear it because I think I've had a string of good luck for a while. Last year was a good year.
Yeah.
Now I'm afraid if I don't put it on every morning that my luck will turn bad and bad things will happen. I'm superstitious. It has nothing to do with anything on there. Don't go picking on. I'm not picking. She knows. She knows I kid, right? Nikki?
John has a hard time with that aspect of lore, and it's not that he doesn't believe in it. It's just that he has John does not have a mind that he can quiet. Trust me, I've tried. There's difference of focus for John that I've never gotten.
You know what other things that can conduct energy and electricity that we don't put in our pocket to protect us and things of that. There are other things than just minerals and stones that collect energy or conduct energy. Yet, again, we don't carry these things around them and say they'll protect us. Or it's come on, it's all.
Yeah, but so there are different things, but like I said, John cannot focus. John cannot meditate. John does not have the ability to sit still for 2 seconds to do a meditation or do. He's tried, trust me, and it just doesn't work. So it's not that he doesn't believe in it. He appreciates it and he knows that it has a value and it works for some people, but it's not for him. And I actually don't use that is Colleen. Colleen is the person who uses.
I love how she's speaking for me and trying to explain me. Go ahead.
Because I know you. But Colleen is the one he uses, and that's one of the benefits of having Colleen on the team. She's the one that understands crystals and stones. I do not. I don't because that's a hard thing for me too. I try to. Do I think that I'm drawn to some things other than others? Yeah, I have a propensity for amethyst, but there might be a reason for that. A gentleman that I helped that was having a heart attack gave me an uncut amethyst as a gift to say thank you and an amber quartz. So is that what my particular
never
draw is to the amethyst is because it was a gift from somebody whose life I saved? It could be. So I just don't know.
I've tried to meditate. I fall asleep.
You can't do it.
I can't get into that state. I'm either awake or asleep. That's how I work.
And he jokes. He just can't. And it's not a good place for him to be.
Quiet my brain that way. I don't think they're picking on me. I don't feel picking on. I feel like I'm right and all of you are wrong. I think I'm picking on you. That's what I think, because I know that you guys are buying into a load of crap with these crystals, and I sit there and just watch and laugh to myself.
I think we need to put something on this added onto my figure, don't you?
That's just me. But we will. We will. That's another good idea. We could have, because we do know people that openly sell crystals, that own.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? Gil? Is he one of them?
Yeah.
That I've got the thing over there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's for. The only reason I picked it out because it was a skull head and it looked cool the way the reflection is. But Colleen's like, you know what that's for? It's for blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, that, and it looks cool.
That wards off. It's the same thing you have on your wrist.
But anyway, I looked at it because it was cool and it was some kind of crystal thing. So
he liked the skull.
But that guy, Gil, I mean, I don't know if he'd be willing to come on and talk about all that stuff. But you know, I'd be willing to have him on and discuss it. And I'll keep my mouth shut. I won't say, hey, what's that rock do? Hey, what's that rock do?
Well, there's like stones that can absorb heat from the sun, or,
you know what?
Give glows.
Wow. Luann, I think I am highly.
Yes, he can be hypnotized.
Highly. I'm afraid of being hypnotized. We used to go. I know we're running over here.
Bob Christopher's on. Hi.
Hey, Bob. We used to go. The Meadowlands Fair. If you're from Jersey, you know what the Meadowlands Fair is. We used to go, and there was this one guy, Steve Boehner. I even remember his name. He was the guy who would do this whole stage show. He would hypnotize people in the audience, and he'd bring them up on the stage, and he'd get them all. And then he'd have you do this exercise to see if you were susceptible to hypnosis, where your
fingers go.
You do like this, and you concentrate on one spot or something, and your thumbs like go together, like if you were. And literally, it would take it a 0.1 seconds before my thumbs went. And I would be watching him do get the people on stage ready. And I try to follow along, and I find myself. And I'd be like, whoa, no way. No way.
You know where Chris's fingers were? Just like this. They never connected. John.
No, because I heard the hypnosis was fake and that people are pretending on stage. I would never take that chance.
They use it
take that chance.
And somebody's offered to do it to help him with stuff. Hypnosis is real because this is what they go into subconscious to bring up things for some people who like bury things.
Jake does it.
Yep. To help smoking sensation. There's all different things that hypnosis is used for to help. It's used as a therapy form, to bring back things safely that you push away. But I personally would not care to be hypnotized by anybody for any reason.
It would be like that. I would be probably crying like a baby. They'd probably get me talking about God knows what. no way would I do that. I would never let someone take over my brain, and no way. No. And like I said, part of me thinks it's all a gimmick, but there's a part of me that's afraid that it's not. And if I went under, no way. Would you ever? You wouldn't do it either.
No.
No.
No. I do
No
not
way.
like to be out of control.
You know, that you know, is it worth interviewing someone
I don't
over?
think it has to do with if your brain's busy or not. I think it's whether or
I
not
would be
you could
clucking like a chicken. He made people do that too.
hypnotized, because John's brain never shuts off. And I got to tell you, there's a way that he does it, that he says you got to do your hands. I don't remember exactly it, but he instructs you, and he goes, and as I'm talking to you and he's making all these suggestions, he goes, if your fingers keep moving and you can't stop them, they go like this, I can hypnotize you. And John's went, broop.
Like, you know, I'm going to have on once too, because I know there's a trick to it, but these guys are amazing in what they do. A mentalist. We've seen live mentalist shows, and I swear, I'm sure there's got to be a trick. But we were at the one in Woodbridge, and they picked me to go up on stage, and this guy literally hands everybody a deck of cards, and he said, just look really, really quick at peek it, you know, the card you're looking at, and don't, you know, don't show it to anybody, whatever, just really as quick as you can. I literally, because I know, you know, I literally went just like, I mean, it was like up and down, up and down. And I'm looking, and man, he 8 people. He hit every single one of them. And how?
There was actually a flub up too when you were up on stage. Something, I can't remember exactly what happened.
No, I couldn't hear him.
So you figured everything was going to be completely thrown off, and it wasn't. It was just like the guy, just like boom, boom. Deb said she volunteered and she faked it.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about, Deb. I heard a lot of people do that, which is why
would you
I don't
that,
think
though?
it's real. Because
I would think that you would purposely not fake it because you wanted to prove it was fake.
But I want to have a mentalist on, because I think, it didn't work. I think mentalists are just, it's weird, the stuff they do. But anyway, we're going over it. But that's all that stuff is coming on.
Spoons.
Huh?
Bend spoons with your mind.
That's a trick. Well, you put one of those rocks, those mineral rocks on them, and they bend down because they have magic powers.
Don't even.
Have magic powers, and they bend things. Anyway, we talked about a lot. Again, I'm setting up the interviews. We're going to be doing live investigations. Just a matter of when. The only available event that has tickets available is Camp Evans, March 9th, with John Zaffis, the legend. And John hopefully will be coming on before then. But if you've been before, you should come again. If you haven't been, get your tickets. John is awesome. His lectures are awesome. And it's cool to say you investigated with John Zaffis, because the guy's a legend. Legend. So on that note, thanks for watching, guys. I dragged Chris on. She's a big star now. She can't be doing these live streams anymore. But
it's the first time I'm actually feeling kind of like a normal human being. But everybody have a good night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And please remember to be kind. It's really important.
And remember, if you beg for a fun pop, you yourself could have one. Doesn't take much.
But not mine.
Just keep asking for it every day, and
not mine.
You'll get one. All right, guys. Good night.